In this video, we're going to explore more related to the animation of chart. And right now we have a very simple animation. As you can see here, it's a pulsing effect, but it's extremely slow. We put it on 3000 milliseconds. But there's a lot more what we can do and what we want to do, and this might be a useful one. For example, you want to have the animation, but you do not want to loop it, or you want to control how the end result will be. Well, let's start and explore this. So in ChartJS, there's a lot of options with animation, but the core eventually is in here. So let me show you here. We have here the animation. This is right now the animation that we have so far. And then we pinpoint the border width as creating animation on. So we target the border width, and here it starts to play around with it. And what we can do, for example, is we want to change this. So let's say we want, instead of border width, we want to have border color. Yes, so border color. And this might be a very common one, is that you want to change the color of a border because you want to highlight it. So by default it is green, but imagine you want it pulsing from green to red, or transition it from green to red, green to blue, anything you want. Well, let's say here you want to make it a red color. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, here we need to pinpoint this, and then after we're going to focus on the loop here. We're going to pinpoint this. Then we say here, type. We indicate the type, and in this case the type will be color, as we need to indicate what is the type, because chart.js cannot understand the specific type from and to, or by default it is a number type. So once we start to indicate that this is something else, ChartJS will be able to figure out what are we putting in here. So let's say here, you can see here our border color is green. So we're going to add this green here. So it starts at green. And once we did that, we want to change this to red. So let's save this, and once we save this and refresh, you will see now we get a different design here. As you can see now, it starts to pulse red. You can see it here as the lines is very narrow, the border width is very narrow here of 1 pixel. But you can see here now it starts to adjust it, and it goes slowly to red. So sometimes you don't want to loop it, and this is a really nice way to do it. This is how you can use animation in a far more better way, because this animation here, even though it might be useful, it can be very distracting because the movement is consistent. Unless you want to highlight it and you want to make sure that they consistently see this, fair enough. If not, I would highly recommend to just give it a color transition. And the moment it transitions to another color, it will be noticed by the viewer because they see the color changing. So let's say here we will loop, and then we say false. We want to remove the loop. And then we refresh here, and now what happens is it will just only go one time. It will stop the loop and it will highlight the red. And as you can see, this creates a very nice way to highlight or pinpoint the most important line that you want. As you can see, because this is a attention grabber. So you can see here now, instantly it gets the same color. Of course, there's one issue here. Of course, you can see the legend will not match. So how do we match the legend? No problem, quite straightforward. We can just say here red, and here as well red. And I saw this here, well, that's it. All right, we save this. This is all correct now, and then refresh. Now you can see this, what is that? The border points are red, and now the border line is becoming gradually red as well. So we can change this as well to give it a bit more. Let's give it a more highlight so you can see it better. I'll make this 5 pixels, and I will slow this down with 5 seconds. Save this, refresh, and now as you see, you can see now gradually it starts to turn red. This is the way how we want to pinpoint or highlight a value specifically in ChartJS. And this is the way how you can control loops. What is most important with the loop is that you understand what is the starting point. So this is green, is your starting point. This will be your starting point. And eventually here below, this is your final destination or ending point. So it will, with the loop, it starts at green, and then it transforms red, and then because it's false, it maintains red. So the same thing what we can do is, for example, Let's go back here and let's change this. Instead of here, we can do border width. And you will see here now as well, if we do this, we do exactly the same. Then we say here, this is not anymore type. The type is number, default. That's the default value. Then we remove the string or the quotation, so it's not a string anymore. And then we say here, let's say border width is 1, and we want to end it to 10. And in 5 seconds, remember this is in milliseconds. MS, milliseconds, meaning that in 5 seconds, so if you do 5,000 divided by 1,000 equals 5 seconds. So that's milliseconds in short. Alright, save this. Refresh. Let's look at it again. And now you can see it's a red, and gradually it starts to expand until 5 seconds, and then it hits its maximum point and it will not loop anymore. And this is basically how you can use it. You can see here there's like a double item here. Don't worry. The reason why it's at the back, there's another line here as well. So as you can see here. And this is how you can use animations and how you can loop through animations in ChartJS 3. Is this very practical? Standard items with a non-looping effect is probably better than a looping effect, unless you really want to pinpoint something. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and this will clarify a bit more about ChartJS animations. So if you like these kind of videos, subscribe to my channel, and if you really want to understand more about ChartJS, check out my ChartJS course. You can find the link in the description box. And if you have any questions regarding to this video, put them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you enjoy this video, you probably will enjoy this one as well. And if you're interested in ChartJS, check out in the description box the link directing to my ChartJS course, where you can learn everything about ChartJS. And finally, of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel.